I'm goddamn proud of my heritage, so you can believe I'm gonna make fun of it, you know? I'm half Greek, half Italian. I tell people this, and they have one of two reactions. They either say, my goodness. That's so exotic. Well, they say, mate, isn't that the same thing? It's certainly not the same fucking thing. They're two very distinct brands of craziness, right? And this craziness has really been personified in my lifetime by my two grandfathers. I've been very lucky to grow up with two grandfathers. And yeah, the two sides they've been emblematic of the two sides. I'll start with my Italian grandfather, my nonno. Okay, a lot of my nonno's behaviour might seem a bit crazy, but you have to bear in mind that he's from a different country in a different era, right? So every year at Christmas time, nonno is in charge of getting the presents for all the kids and the grandkids. Now these presents are always no nonsense, just an envelope. Cash inside, no card, just your name written in the top right-hand corner. Now my nonno spells my name exactly the way he says my name, Entoni. E-N-T-O-N-I, Entoni. Now I know what you're probably thinking, like, cut the guy some slack, leave him alone, he's old, English obviously isn't his first language, and I would totally agree with you, I really would, if I wasn't fucking named after him. That's right, Antonino of House Locascio, the third of his name, ruler of the over 60s Lawn Bowls League, lord of the Christmas lights, and protector of the fridge. He completely ruined Christmas for me, this guy. It wasn't his fault. I was just a pretty cluey 5-year-old, right? And I didn't buy that Santa would burst through the front door on Christmas Day at 4 o'clock in the afternoon going, Merry Christmas! Where'd you get that accent from, Santa? Turns out a lot of the nice kids on Santa's list are actually from Palermo. No, my nonno really is a lovely man. There's just a few seemingly arbitrary things that are extremely important to him. And if you mess with them, he will show you exactly how Sicilian he is. The first of these things is the salotto, right? In every WOG household, there's a nice room. It's for visitors that appear once a year. In the Greek house, it's called the saloni. In Italian, it's the salotto. For Lebos, apparently it's the salon, I've been told. I don't know. Yeah, and we were always told as kids, Entoni, not playing a salotto. It's expressly banned from playing in this place. But one day, nonno went to play lawn bowls. I was about 6 and I said, fuck it. Took my Legos into the salotto. But on this particular day, nonno had forgotten his wallet, right? So he came back. I turned around to see the door frame, the door was open, and this was the image I looked at. Don't fuck with the salotto, moral of the story. The second thing that's very important to my nonno, and any really older Italian man, is their garden, right? Growing up, I was always told, Anthony, you like this tomato? From the garden. Anthony, you like this zucchini? It's from the garden. Again, we were expressly banned from playing anywhere near the garden, right? But one day, I was about 7, my cousin was about 5. My nonno went to play lawn bowls, and we said, fuck it. Went to play Men in Black in the backyard. We wanted to be Agent J and Agent K like in the movies, but my name's Anthony and my cousin's name is Adam, so we were Agent A and Agent A number 2. At a certain point, the aliens came. And we had to hide. So we jump in the nearest bush, right? Commando roll. squashed every fruit that was in the bush, which happened to be the chili bush. The chili juice projected right into our eyes. Now, I've had some soccer injuries in my life. I've hurt myself doing other dumb shit. This is the worst pain in my life. All of the women in our family were losing their minds, thinking we were going to go blind. My mum, my aunt, my other aunt, my grandmother were losing it. Not Nonno, though. Nonno was in the back. Don't fuck with the garden. So the last thing that's very important to my nonno is it's a bit arbitrary. It seems a bit weird. As long as I've been alive, my nonno has kept a blackbird in a cage on his balcony as a pet, right? The blackbird's name is Merlo, which in Sicilian very imaginatively means blackbird. One morning, nonno wakes up and the blackbird is particularly jumpy, and he's come to sleuth that the neighbour's cat has been trying to break into the cage to kill the bird, right? Or to eat it, I assume. Now, I should preface this story by saying that my grandfather keeps hunting rifles. Like, he follows the rules as far as registration goes. He doesn't always follow the rules when it comes to what you're allowed to shoot. So one afternoon, Nonno goes out just after dinner, 4:45. He sits with one of these guns, turns on the Italian radio nice and low, and he just waits. Now, I'm not insinuating that my grandfather murdered the neighbour's cat, but let's just say that there were some patches in the garden where nothing ever grew again, and the bird lived a very long and healthy life. Now, my great-grandfather, my papu, is a totally different kettle of worms, right? Like Nonno, it's important to remember that a lot of his behaviour might seem crazy, but bear in mind that he's from a different era and a different country. The difference is that my papu is also certifiably insane. He's insane in the absolute best way, though. I mean, he's the most selfless man you've ever met in your life. He really is selfless to a crazy degree. I'll give you an example. So when I was doing the HSC, my mum was doing renovations at the house, and there were a lot of dust mites everywhere. I've got really bad allergies to dust mites. So I moved in with Yaya and Papu to live with them for a little bit while I was studying. Papu was very lenient. He only had one rule. I wasn't allowed to flush the toilet after doing a poo. He had to inspect my every creation to make sure I was healthy, you know? Like the trained medical professional, he most certainly is not. I hacked this for about 3 days and then I chose the dust mites. Now, Papu grew up in 1940s Greece, which was not the least misogynistic place in the world, okay? Now, the word for woman in Greek is gyneka, okay? So we get English words like gynecology and phrases like, gee, I really want a necker. I thought until I was about 10 years old that my grandmother, my yaya, I thought her first name was Gyneka. At this point, I had only ever heard it be called Mum, Yaya, and, well, Gyneka, right? Got to a point where friends would come over and say, Evdoxia, what a lovely house you have. And I'd think, Yaya, who the fuck is Evdoxia? These crazy people you're inviting over, just imagining Evdoxias everywhere, you know? Get these schizophrenics out of the Saloni. You know, he still calls her Gyneka to this day, but I really think that at this point in their elderly lives, it's because her real name, Evdoxia, is really just too much of an effort. Anyway, so I'm going to express what might be not a popular opinion. The movie, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, it's fucking shit. It really is. It's more or less a license for like non-Greek people to make fun of us for things that we don't even do, right? But I will give it credit for one thing. It's the Windex thing. I'm not saying that all Greek men love Windex and think Windex is great, but every elder Greek man that's come to a Western country has found like one wonder product. one thing that will solve all ailments. And for my papu, this is Listerine. Seriously. My papu thinks Listerine fixes anything, no matter what it is. Sore throat, kana lugo Listerine. Headache, kana lugo Listerine. My little cousin fell over and grazed his knee. He loves the stuff so much that in the 1980s, this goes back to that selfless thing again. In the 1980s, the first time he ever went back to Greece to see his family, he didn't pack any clothes in the suitcase. He just packed like 40 bottles of Listerine. But of course, he forgot that it was his family that sent him over here in the first place, against his will, and they thought that he was on a revenge mission with little bottles of poison. And that, guys, is why you never want to work for a Greek, because they're fucking crazy and paranoid.